Hi, my name is Polly Tatum, and I'm the owner of the Law Office of Polly Tatum and Mediation Advantage Services. And we help our clients divorce with dignity without going broke. And today, I'm going to discuss the 3 ways that you can move forward and file for a divorce in Massachusetts. The first way and the goal in this process is to file this way. It's what's called a joint petition for a no-fault divorce. And in that situation, both spouses are petitioners. You're not plaintiff or defendant. You're not suing each other. You're not serving each other with paperwork. You're both just jointly saying, you know what, we're not getting along. The marriage is irretrievably broken. So you don't get into any facts that may have led to the breakdown of the marriage. It's a pretty basic statement of the facts. And along with all the court forms that you file, you also file what's called your marital separation agreement. And that's a pretty comprehensive document that you work with myself as your mediator to develop. And what goes into that document is if you have any children, we'll talk about care, custody, support of your children. We'll talk about how you're going to divide your assets, how you're going to allocate your liabilities. We'll talk about health insurance, life insurance, and tax issues. And then once all of that paperwork has been completed, we submit it to the court. You have one quick court appearance. It typically takes less than 10 minutes, and you're just submitting it for the judge's approval. And that's the goal in the mediation process, to file that way. The second way that a couple can move forward with a divorce in Massachusetts is by filing a complaint for divorce, where you are both plaintiff and defendant. You're suing each other, you're hiring 2 separate lawyers, you're serving each other with paperwork, and it's a long, drawn-out process. Typically, that process takes anywhere from 14 months to 2 years to finalize. You would have several to numerous court appearances, and you're leaving decisions up to a judge to decide, as opposed to the first way, where you're filing a joint petition and you're submitting a joint agreement for the judge's approval. The third way that you can file for a divorce in Massachusetts is what's called a complaint for divorce. And it can be based on fault grounds, and it can be any number of fault grounds. It could be cruel and abusive treatment, gross intoxication, abandonment. This is not a common way to file for a divorce, and it is the most contested way. It is the most expensive way, both emotionally and financially, for a couple. You're still hiring 2 separate lawyers. You're suing each other. Someone's a plaintiff, someone's a defendant. You could ultimately, again, have a trial on your divorce, and you're leaving all the decisions up to the judge to decide. When you file that way, again, it's very expensive, both emotionally and financially, for a couple. So like I said, the goal in the mediation process is to file the first way, which is the joint petition, where you're working with a mediator and you're developing a mutually acceptable agreement that handles everything from finances and custody and parenting times for your children. If you're ready to uncouple peacefully and gain some happiness and control over your life, and you want to have control over your divorce, then I encourage you to give our office a call so you can begin the mediation process today.